Hello, welcome everyone. People showed up early. Thank you very much. I know this is a very unusual time to be holding this new moon intention setting for Aquarius, but the reason I wanted to do it this way is because you can always watch the recording. Anybody watching the recording, you will be in the energy. It's a very quantum thing that you will be a part of this as we go and move through everything. So what I wanted to say is this is actually capable of being used through the crescent moon that is the waxing moon. So basically we set intentions now, but we don't act upon them until we get to that point. So this is still that, what do I want? What do I want to wish for? So that's the energy of things going on. And today I have some wonderful teammates here. It's Jen and Sari. So very wonderful. And what we're going to do is Sari kindly agreed to do a cleansing for us. So we're going to start off with that, and then we'll cover a bit of astrology, and then we'll go ahead and start. Oh, before we do that, people, do you have something to write on? We will not be burning this. This is something that the cards that I got from Sari for Christmas. This is her photography. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh yeah, and see, Jen has hers too. So we're going to write our intentions on these, and then we're going to put them in a place of honor in the home. Yeah, Larissa, thank you. So a glass of water, your candle, your thing to light it with, and if you have a crystal that you can carry around with you, I would say also have that available to you, because we're going to have this be something that you can take with you and really being mindful of, oh yeah, this is coming, right? So let me go ahead and turn it over to Sari now, and we'll get our cleansing on the way.
All right. Good morning. Good evening, everyone. Would invite you just to relax and close your eyes and just settle into wherever you are in your space. Just slow it down. We're going to take a couple of nice deep cleansing breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. Again, in through the nose and out through the mouth. And as you continue to relax into your body, continue to breathe deeply, as we are going to envision today that we are sitting up in the sky on this beautiful white puffy cloud. And we are surrounded by angels. We are surrounded by the sun, the warmth, the beautiful light of the sun coming through the cloud, resting upon our shoulders, making us feel warm and safe and comfortable. And imagine that the sun's light and the light of the angels fills your body with this beautiful white light that is so warm you feel a tingling all the way through your body. And we are directly connected with source energy. Feel that angelic energy coming down all the way through your chakras. But Mother Earth is also below us to support us with her firm foundation. Connect those two energies through your chakras. And imagine the light connecting you between heaven and earth. Feel the wings of the angels enfolding you in warmth, in light, in protection. We're asking Archangel Michael to be with us during this ceremony and to go with us for the remainder of the week for strength, courage, and protection. Take one last deep cleansing breath. And Dawn, back to you.
Thank you very much. So let's just talk about the astrology for a moment. This is the first new moon of the year. So this can be something that you can use to set intentions for the rest of the year. It's very powerful. It's going to also be connected with other energy out there. So let's just start with where the moon and the sun are. They're at 9 degrees of Aquarius. That happened this morning at, it would be 7:30 Eastern time, that they actually had the new moon occur. And the strongest energy for setting intentions for a new moon is the first 8 hours, but setting for the next 24 or 48 still is very, very powerful. So we have this new moon. So what else is happening at 9 degrees? Oddly enough, we have Hekate, who is the goddess of the dark of the moon. So this is the energy leading up until this and following after it. She is square this new moon. I think this new moon is like 9:53 and she's at 9:51. They're that close. It's almost exact. So definitely at the same degree, but almost at the same minute, right? And she's in a square. Hecate is about changes. You're coming to a crossroads. And she's not alone. Vesta is with Hecate at that same degree. Not as close as she is to that new moon exactness, but she's at that same degree, right? So you have what desire is of your heart. What do you really want to do? You need to think of that. What do you want? And Hecate is there to help push us forward into that. Squares are active energy. So that's with this new moon in Aquarius. Thinking differently, using things out there to move yourself forward. I heard someone say that in times that are restless like this, and the astrology said for the next couple of years, it's going to be like this. This is your opportunity to make things bigger, because even if things are great, it's like it's still stagnant energy. So this is the time to really move that energy forward for yourself, right? For yourself. Now, the other really interesting thing is that we have Venus, and it's Venus and Iris. Iris is the goddess of the rainbow, of diversity, of, it's that symbol of the promise of God not to flood the earth and destroy mankind, right? And they are exact. They are exact to the minute, today. So Venus, I think, plays into this because the 25 degrees at Pisces that they both are is where the eclipse happened on September 17th. So the sun and moon were there in an eclipse. And if you had anything happening around that time, 2 weeks either side, and you felt that Pisces full moon eclipse affected you, this is going to affect you too. Because the interesting thing that happens with Venus is that she's going to be moving forward, and where the next Aries eclipse is on March 29th, that's where she stations retrograde at that degree. So Venus is going to be helping us as she starts her retrograde. And the interesting thing too is I happened to look at the date of the 22nd. Jen and I have something going on that day. And on that day, Iris and Venus are at 9 degrees in Aries on that day. So Venus is traveling so slow that Iris is able to keep up with her. So they're traveling together. The goddess energy right now is working for us, right? It's the divine feminine is showing up for us. And the interesting thing is it takes almost 6 years. It's like 5 3/4 years for those goddesses in the asteroid belt to get around. So the fact that you have Hecate at an almost exact square to this new moon is amazing. You have the fact that Venus and Iris are at the exact same degree in a place where there was an eclipse. And again, Iris takes that long to get around, the same, right? So we are going to be utilizing all this energy, and it's a lot of energy, and Mars is going to be turning direct. So moving that energy forward. That'll happen on March 23rd. So that's part of the getting ready to move forward energy. But Venus and Mars are going to have a chat. So does anybody have any questions that they want to ask regarding? Yes, Sari.
Yeah, you mentioned Hekate, and as I also understand her, she is the goddess of the underworld, but connecting us with the other side and the veil. Is there also something around our intuition and the veil being thin during this period that we should pay attention to?
Absolutely. Hekate covers a lot of ground. Hekate is also, she's the goddess of the crossroads. She's the goddess with keys because she has access to the underworld and she has access to the above us, right? So this world, the one below, it's very shamanic, where it's the below here and then the above, talking with the other gods. She was actually a friend of Demeter, and in a different version, she found Persephone and told Demeter, or Ceres, as you say, and then they went and rescued Persephone. So that is that energy. So she's also the way shower. She also carries a torch. She's also, it's black dogs. It's like there's very many, and I know that she's considered the goddess of witches. I look at her in a slightly different way because I look at her more from the astrology point of view. So for me, it's very much when you have Hecate show up where Hecate is in your natal chart on my ascendant for me. Where Hecate is showing up in the chart for you is also where you're having a change show up, where you're needing to make, it's more than a fork in the road. It's a crossroads that you're coming to that you have to make a decision on. And that's a good point because Hecate is in Scorpio. Hecate is in Scorpio with Vesta. What do you truly want? Go deep. What do you truly want? That's Scorpio. That's that your deepest, darkest wishes. What do you really want, right? And that's at 9 degrees. So when you're looking at those things, I would say if you want to move forward, take a look at not only Aquarius, which is, new moon, 9 degrees, whatever Scorpio house is for you, and find the blending of those two, I would say. For me, Aquarius is my 9th house. Long distance travel, hello Europe, higher connection, higher learning, what I'm doing spiritually, all of those things. My moon is at 6 degrees, so it's, and my Saturn is at 9. So hello, this is a big thing for me. So with that energy, I think people can really make a great choice as to what they want to work forward, because you have Hecate, that's the intention energy of moving forward. We do so much, we can create so much with intention. So I would say, yes, Hecate is definitely connecting all of those things. And I really feel, and a lot of times I will have Hecate when we do guided meditation. Hecate is there also sometimes to give people keys so that doors that were blocked to them can be opened. That's part of her gift. So I would say that is something that you can look at. Any other?
There's a question here from Libra Love. It says, does this mean that our spiritual gifts will be heightened? I've been seeing movement out of the corner of my eye.
Yes. And the reason I'm excited about this, there's so much astrology that's just amazing. Venus is going to be conjuncting Neptune and the North Node. They're all going to be at the same degree. North Node, fated energy, Neptune, higher connection, Venus, women, wealth, right? Stability, love. And what's going to happen with Venus is going to cross that North Node and Neptune. She actually conjuncts with them exactly on the same day. I can't remember it off the top of my head, but it's a very near future. So she's going to conjunct with them and then move forward. She's going to hit the North Node 3 times. She's going to hit Neptune 3 times. And her and Mars will be in a trine 3 times. They've already had the first one.
Does that tie into the question I was asking before about the Mars and Venus? Because it does feel significant that like Mars is going to go direct just days before Venus goes into retrograde. So what is your take on just those energies kind of piggybacking?
Right. Yeah, and that's very much because there's so much astrology that is just huge right now. Venus and Mars will have 3 trines. The first one is with Mars being in retrograde and Venus moving forward in Cancer and Pisces. So what areas of the chart is that for you, right? And then they are going to have another trine. And this time Mars will be going direct, moving forward, getting things done, especially in the home area of your life, especially with the family area of your life. And then Venus will be retrograde. She's going through her time, right? And it's going to go all the way up. Venus will go all the way up to 9 degrees and then start to come back. And one of the things that also is going to happen is they will meet a 3rd time. And I believe that 3rd time is when they're in the fire signs. Leo, Aries. So I think that's right before Venus gets back. I think actually when I looked at it, and I'll have to look this up because I think they're very close to where their retrograde points were. So I'll have to double check that. But that would be 6 degrees of Leo for Mars and 9 degrees of Aries, where that eclipse is going to happen. So you can see, remember how I said whenever a planet stations retrograde, that particular degree gets lit up. So all of these 9 degrees for everybody, anybody having 9 degrees of anything?
Yeah. I have 9-degree Capricorn moon, so I didn't know if that was going to be.
Yes.
But I would say so. Yeah.
Yes, and you will be feeling that because Capricorn would be right next to Aries, but it's like it would be. Let's see. Yeah, it might be in conjunction. It's like there's uncomfortable. There's uncomfortable right now. That would be for you because they're in like 12ths, so it's like 30 degrees apart, and then the quincunx. So yeah, I'm doing that in my head. Sorry, I think that's right. So yeah, so that's like uncomfortable, itchy energy that you don't really know what you can do about it, and really you can't right now. So that would be that energy. But yes, people are going to open up to new gifts. They're absolutely going to open up to new gifts. New things are coming in, and you will maybe get a hint of that, Venus going over that North Node, and then it's going to come back, and then you're going to work with that. It's a muscle. When you get a gift, it's a muscle that you have to work. It is a muscle that you have to work. And you have to get confidence. Just like when we learn how to read tarot, we had to learn to trust our intuition. And that's what I think Venus being in that retrograde is like, okay, I feel like this is opening up for me. How do I broaden it, make it bigger, make it stronger, make it work for me so I can understand it? That's very much that energy. Because when that eclipse happens at the end of March, that's big energy. That's very, very big energy. So I really think us working with what's going on in the astrology and starting with this new moon in Aquarius is really going to push us forward for this year, for the next 20 years. This is the first new moon that has occurred since the sun and Pluto have met up in Aquarius. Very first one in 250 years. So this is a big energy that you can set the intention of, that's my 9th house. Do I want to live abroad? Maybe. Do I want to increase my knowledge with those higher level things, which is the 9th house, right? It's that kind of knowledge. Yes. So that is what I'm looking at as an intention setting as well. It's like, I want more gifts. I want to be able to understand gifts. I want to increase my learning. Those are the things that you can utilize with that. And then Scorpio's in the 6th house for me. Everyday things. Scorpio, 6th house. Everyday things. Health. Yeah, Sri?
So what you're saying, since it's the first new moon and it's really an incredible time, dream big. Don't I guess be risk averse. Just be bold, be daring, and go after what you want.
Right. Because, and the reason that's a very good question is because we're entering quantum level stuff. Quantum computers are going to be coming up. With quantum thinking, there are no limits. There are no limits. Can I say that I can travel? Yes. Are there ways that I can travel and not have to spend a lot of money? Oh yeah. Trusted house sitters. I can go stay at somebody's house in Europe and watch their pet, right? It's like, and then it's for free that I'm in that area and learning that area. So there are more, we limit ourselves with our own thinking. That's what I'm saying. We're limiting ourselves with our own thinking. Dream anything you want. And I would say, don't make it about money, make it about abundance. Make it about, well, you want money because you're able to do more things. Well, don't look at the money part of it. What is it that you want to do? Because there's ways that you can make that happen without having all that money. There's equal exchange of energy in one way or another, right? So yeah. And Marsha just put Pluto is moving to 2 degrees. So we're moving forward. Pluto is moving forward and and earlier today, Mercury and Pluto met. Oh my goodness. The stuff that's going to come out, the downloads, the information that's going to be coming out at a global level and is going to continue to come out at a global level. Everybody's staying in their safe place, right? Of their not getting involved in all the energy that's out there, right? Because this actually is going to help move you forward. There's no stuck energy out there. Everything's chaos. That works for you. And you can quantum think in this time. You can have anything that you can think of and leave it to the universe, this or something better. Because the universe can make better things for you than you would even have dreamed of. So very exciting. So are we ready? Or do we have any other questions? We're good? Okay. So what I wanted to do is we're going to get started. Take a deep breath. We are going to start by lighting our candle. That's always a good idea whenever you're starting any, because you want to have a signal to the universe of a start and an end. So this is the candle I'm using today. Ta-da! So what we want to do is we want to think about right now, what are the things that you want to intend for yourself? What is it that's important to you? What house is that 9 degrees Aquarius for you? What house is the 9 degrees Scorpio for you especially? And then Scorpio ties in a trine, although it's a bit of a distance, with that Pisces energy. What gifts do you want to open up for yourself? Because Venus actually is tied into this new moon, even though the degrees aren't matching up. It's the fact that there was an eclipse there, that spot has been energized. And she will be at the next eclipse in Aries on, she's going to retrograde at that degree. So that's a hot degree for her. And then to have the eclipse on top of that in March. So you can ask for anything that you want. And especially if it's related to your gifts, Pisces, Neptune. Neptune is going to leave permanently in 2026 and won't be back to Pisces for another 140 years, right? To have Neptune in the sign that it is a ruler of is huge. It's a big deal. So using that energy and the North Node, basically they're in conjunct energy right now. Neptune and the North Node are conjunct. Fated gifts. What are you waiting for? Right? So start setting those intentions. Like I said, I have this card here. And one of the other things I want you to note is this. I want you to note that the first thing for self-care a human needs is oxygen. So taking those breaths, learning breathing exercises that will calm your nervous system. The nervous system is going to be hit up a bunch. Uranus turns direct tomorrow. It's digging into that 23 degrees right now. I've had crazy stuff happening because Uranus keeps getting activated and I keep getting weird stuff happening because Uranus is very big in my chart. So Uranus is going to be moving direct. Now those energies, instead of kind of being in the way, I felt a little bit, now they're going to be much bigger. Surprises are going to come to you that you can't even realize. Uranus is in a trine to Venus. Uranus is at 23, she's at 25. And that is really sextile energy. Sorry, that's sextile energy. So that's 60 degrees. They are going to help each other. They're going to help each other out. So I would say utilize all of the energy that you can. There's so much that's going to be pushing this forward. That's why I felt this was so important, even though a lot of people are going to have to watch it, on replay. It's still that energy of everything is so big right now. And Uranus may be causing havoc out in the world. Wouldn't surprise me. But astrologically, this stuff is supposed to happen for the next couple years because we need to change things up. And it's going to get messier before it's like, I feel like we're just standing back and watching a toddler mess everything up, right? In that energy because of the chaos. And then we are, all of us people who have Pluto and Virgo, the high priestesses are going to show up and say, okay, let's get this straightened out. And because we have the Venus and Mars energy doing the trines, and then when they meet for the last trine, they're both going to be going forward. That is a much better energy that we can learn to work with the masculine energies. And I keep saying the Virgo people, that Pluto Virgo people, we know what it's like to have had stuff regarding the Me Too movement. I can't name any woman that I can think of that hasn't had some kind of small issue or another in her workplace at some point in her life. And a lot has changed, but a lot more needs to change. So be the person that sits at the table and doesn't serve the table. Virgo is about giving service, right? But you're needed somewhere else. Don't serve the table, sit at the table, right? So I want you to be writing these things down. What do you intend for yourself? And it's across from Pisces. What can you do? What gifts do you want to come in? All of those things. So be writing these things down. What do you intend for yourself? The other part of this, the body needs oxygen. The other thing that the body needs next, that's where the water comes in, right? After air, it's water. You have to have water. And the thing I always think is a miracle is, I don't know how God managed to have water having no calories. To me, if you think about it, it's like, wow, I can have as much as that as I want and I don't have to worry about it. Thank you, God. I always think that's funny. And I don't know why that, I have Aquarius moon. So maybe that's why I think strangely like that. But I'm like, good job, right? So feel free to sip the water. And that's part of your caretaking that I want you to have. And then when you have the fire going on, right? That is your connection. You want to have that connection. Bring in that spiritual connection. Pisces and your gifts coming in with Neptune and the North Node, currently close enough to be counted as a conjunction, right? So many new things. And don't be afraid of them. You do have to learn how to use your gifts when you first realize that you have them. But that's that energy, right? So that's that fire energy. So we have air, the breath. We have water, the nurturing energy. We have fire, right? It's that connection. It's that connection. And then we have earth. So we each chose crystals. You should have heard us all geeking out about the crystals at the beginning and what crystals we were choosing for our special reason, right? So what I want you to do as you've written these things out, and hopefully I've given you enough time to be writing these things down. I want you to start holding this in your hand and looking at your list of things that you have, that you made a list on. I'm going to jot a few things down myself. Because it's a really strong time. Pluto, yeah, Peggy, Pluto 9 degrees Virgo, 8 degrees for me. Opening to gifts. That's interesting, Virgo. Virgo, Aquarius. That's a trine, that new moon for you with Pluto, my dear. Think about that, Peggy. Technically, my Pluto is too in a trine. Well, not in a trine. Yeah. Nope. In conjunct. Yeah, it's energy that might be uncomfortable, but I think we're meant to be uncomfortable in this energy because it's Pluto and we need to get stuff done. Like, let me give you an example of what an inconjunct can mean. It's like, it's an energy that doesn't go away and you can't fix it, but it's good for people who are artists and athletes, because an artist doesn't believe they've done their best work ever. They have to write a new song. They feel compelled to write a better song, right? And that's the same energy as well as an athlete, always striving to be better, striving to push forward because they feel like they just haven't quite got it. So artists and like athletes, they will have a lot of inconjuncts in their chart, but it's something that pushes things forward, right? Something that pushes things forward. So let's see. Also, I want to say fire is also exercise, movement. People need to get out and move and get out of their heads. I took Jack for a walk this morning at the park. Your body is going to need to release some pent-up energy. Mars being in retrograde is never, and being in Cancer is a little frustrating for him. So he needs to have some energy out there released, okay? So what I want you to do is we're going to utilize the crystal, and I would advise you to do this. You can bring the crystal up and look at the crystal so that maybe, let me see if I can do this way, right? That you can see the reflection of the candle in the crystal. And if for some reason, if that doesn't work for you, put the crystal straight across from the candle from you so that you have to basically look through that flame to see that, oh, I can see that's perfect. So you're energizing that crystal with your intentions, right? And I can also see the reflection of the candle at this angle too. So what you're doing is putting with your heart and your mind in cohesiveness, you're putting the intention into that crystal, and that crystal will be a reminder to join your head and your heart in a cohesive way. And that's how you get to quantum. And quantum comes in. So no matter what you ask for, you let the universe take care of the how. You're just celebrating like you already have it. So that is part of this energy, is bringing in the crystal in that way with that fire, right? So does everybody have their things written down now? So what I want to do is we're going to take a little guided meditation journey. I want you to take whatever you've written on, bring it up to your heart, put the crystal over the top, and hold it in place, right? Now I want you to close your eyes. And we're going to start in our very safe space of that cabin that I love to be in. So we're in a cabin and we are enjoying the warmth of the fire. It's a magic fire. It never burns too hot or too cold. It's always perfect. And now we know it's time to join others, to set our intentions forward. So we are going to mentally put our intentions and our crystal into a pouch and take it with us as we walk out the door and we're headed to our sacred fire. We're going to be crossing a field, and you can hear the crunch of dead leaves that have joined some of the plants in that field. And take and stop a moment to look up at the sky. There is no moon, because this is Hecate's time, the dark of the moon. And what do you see when you gaze up? You see Venus. She is so bright in the sky right now. She's the brightest thing in the sky. And she's also part of this journey that we'll be taking. And what else? Saturn is nearby. Not that far away. And you can see Saturn in the sky. There's also Jupiter. We have Jupiter, one of the benefic planets, as well as Venus, who's there to be seen. And Mars. Mars with its orange glow. So we have all these things that we are seeing in the sky that we can see all at the same time. To the naked eye, what a gift. So take that energy of all of the beautiful stars that you're seeing out there. And we're going to keep walking forward. We're going to walk into the woods. And we can hear voices up ahead. We can smell the pine trees that are still there, the evergreen, still crunching on the leaves as we walk. And we come into an open space, a huge meadow where there are many people. Some faces you recognize, and some faces are new. And you greet and welcome everyone you see. We see the huge fire in the center that represents all of us. And we've come here to set our intentions together. So we all start to form circles around this great fire. There are many of us here. And now we see the three goddesses of the moon coming. Selene is the full moon. She was in charge the last time we were here, when we set and released all of those things before we started the new year. And then there's Artemis. Like Diana, she's the huntress. And also there is Hekate, who is squaring this new moon. She's asking all of us to take our pouches and then bring out our paper and our crystal and place it against our heart. And she's asking that we send love and gratitude from our heart chakra into this intention. And then she asks that your mind visualize this actually has already happened. You have the heart and mind in cohesion. And you can see other people in your mind's eye after you've accomplished this great thing, people that you know coming up and congratulating you. This is quantum. It has already happened. The universe will take care of everything else. And what we want to do is to send a little tendril from our heart chakra towards the fire so that we may join with everyone else's wishes and send that energy up together. And it makes the fire roar. What a beautiful gift that we set intentions together and empower each other. As we stand around the fire, Hekate starts to circle around. And to each person, she is going to be giving a key. So she asks that you take the key to unlock doors that have been blocked for you moving forward. She's giving you a key. It might unlock a different door that will get you to the same place that you wanted. So you need to find the door that the key fits. But she's giving you the key so that you may put it with your intentions and your crystal. She's providing this key for us as a gift in this very special time. So now we take our crystal and our intention paper and our key, and we're going to put them back into our pouch. And we're going to travel. First, before we leave, I do want you to go and make your goodbyes to everyone and wish them well and wish them health and wish them love. And then I want you to start to make your way back down the path, enjoying the slightly cold feel of the air, and coming into the meadow that you had crossed previously to again look up at the night sky and see all the beautiful stars that have put themselves there for our use, to be used with our intentions. We continue walking and we see the cabin in the distance. And as we walk up to it, we appreciate the warmth and the safe space as we enter in. Now, this special cabin, you can take anywhere with you. You can put it on a beach. You can put it in the mountains. You can put it near a lake. This is your safe place. This is where you can go to just relax and be you and use in any meditation that you wish. You can go to that house and then you can walk out to whatever your mind creates, whether it be a beach or a mountain or the desert. So now let us open our eyes and we can place our paper down. And I do want you to try and take this with you everywhere as far as what's coming for you in the future, because this is a reminder to put especially your heart and head cohesiveness like you already have it. I'm wishing for this. I have this. I have this. And I know it's going to happen. My heart knows it and my mind knows it. Think of you already having it. Think of people congratulating you that you've done this thing, that you have this thing, that you're able to do this thing. That's where that magic happens in quantum. So I'm trying to find that energy of us being all together and knowing that there's going to be chaos in the future and remaining calm and as an observer to all of the things out there, knowing that it's quantum and that things are going to change. The world will be a completely different place in 3 years. Completely different. And the opportunities that you will be given are going to be amazing. So I wanted to share all of that with you, and know that you can, that this is a safe place for you to come and to learn and to be supported. So with that energy, I'm going to ask that we blow out our candle as a symbol that we are finished with our ceremony. And I thank you for coming. And I wanted to know if there's any further questions that you might have for me with things going on. I'll look at all the houses. Yeah, 4th house.
There were a few questions that I saw in the chat. So let me see. We've got Jenny wanted to know, what if I have nothing in Pisces?
Oh, not to worry. Pisces will always be in a house regardless. And so what are those degrees? Do you have anything at those degrees in other areas of your chart? Is the first thing I would say. I'm not going to go into rulerships because at this point, I don't think that is really a big thing right now, except for Uranus being the ruler and stationing during this new moon. So Uranus is going to pack a punch as far as helping our intentions. But if you don't have any planets in Pisces, the current transits, you have, I believe, Saturn's at like 14 degrees, somewhere in there, and you have the 25 degrees. So I'm certain that you have something that is going to answer to those things in that house. Do you have any trine energy? Do you have anything else in the water signs if you don't have anything in Pisces? Things that are in Taurus. Taurus would be to Pisces a helping energy, right? So the current things moving through Pisces, even if you don't have anything in Pisces, they are going to be talking to something else in your chart. And you can utilize that energy and use whatever house Pisces is, and then whatever house your natal planet has a connection with. Sextiles are usually working with someone, that energy of getting help from someone. Trine energy is easy flowing energy. You don't have to do a thing. The universe goes, let me make this easy for you, right? Squares require action. Squares are also what help us grow in this time. So having squares is actually like Hekate is squaring this new moon, but she's saying you're at a crossroads, and crossroads require active change. Active change. I hope that answers your question.
Jen is worried her head is going to implode.
I will say, Jen, Scorpio stellium, yeah, and you feel things deep, right? So what I would say is grounding. Also use the crystal for grounding energy. You need to be grounded. Sari did a grounding before we started. That is very big right now because our minds are so activated with everything that's going on around us. Again, limit your news, please. I actually was just like I said, I have a lot of eye rolls going on. And the truth is, I don't always believe everything I see they have the scroll of doom everywhere. So it doesn't matter what channel you're on. You get all this is the bad news. You need to watch us. They want ratings, people. So you know, that's what they're after. So don't fall into that trap. And we're not there to, you know, basically eat your popcorn and watch chaos do what it's supposed to do. And then we're on that energetic crew that comes in later. We're in the space of, we are holding space for other people who are not as far along spiritually, who are people are going to wake up because of this North Node Neptune stuff. All of a sudden they're going to go, I'm not happy doing what I've been doing. I want something more. I want something different. And then they're going to start searching. But if you're that person's like, okay, I'm always calm. I always think of the idea of you're not changing people by trying to talk them into something. You change people because they see how you are and how happy you are and how everything works for you. And they go, I want some of that. That's how the change happens. You being in your sovereign energy, right? Sovereign energy. So Scorpio is a very deep feeling. I feel it with you, but I think use your water energy, soak in a tub, go swimming, get rid of some of the Mars, because Mars is in retrograde. You got to be going nuts right now. Mars is like one of the rulers, so is Pluto. So that energy is got to be just crazy for you because Mars does not like to be retrograde at all. So I would say exercise, Scorpio, right? You need to, because that's one of your rulers and it's aggravating. Anything else?
Rebecca Joe is asking about her having her emotions have been intense. She wonders if it's Mars in retrograde.
Yeah, I would definitely say that because related to family as well. You have your home is Cancer, your family and ancestry is Cancer. And with Mars being retrograde, it brings up triggers. It brings up triggers. So that can be, and the triggers that family can bring up are from childhood wounds. And a lot of us with this Pluto Virgo energy are being asked to, I believe, clear up ancestral trauma. Stop what has always been the mentality of lack and maybe in your family, or there's a lot of alcoholism in my family, and stopping those things so that the next generation doesn't have that coming forward. We are clearing ancestral trauma, and it's meant to be done now. Venus is going to work really hard, and so is the North Node, right? So yes, I would say take the time to take care of yourself. That was one of the things I wanted to include. Please, self-care, self-care, self-care for everyone. And yes, I do readings for people. So you can usually on any of the videos, I think probably lower in the video. I don't know if I included that on this one. We have people that read for our channel as tarot readers, and they also offer other things. I'm also an astrologer, obviously. So yes, I do readings for people. And there's been people on here that I've read for. So
I just added the link for you in the chat for anybody that does want to book with you.
And to me, it's also looking at what your North Node is and where you're going. Usually when I read for someone, it always feels like this. We'll talk and then they'll have something that they always wanted to do. And then I look at their chart and I'm like, well, that makes perfect sense in your chart that you should do that. Do it, because your chart is going to be supportive of it. And why did you have that idea in the first place? Because you can do it. Because you can. And that is what this energy is now. We are going so quantum that nothing is impossible. Nothing. So, yay. Well, I want to thank everyone for joining me today. And please feel free to rewatch. And if you didn't have a chance to write everything that you wanted to do, but we are all here to be in a community together. And that's one of the things I very much appreciate, that everybody shows up, right? So I really thank everyone, and we will be seeing you. We have this Friday, we have our 6 p.m. Eastern for our the spiritual view, and come join us. We always have something that's very interesting to start off as a discussion, and then we move on to being able to read some cards for people. So you're very welcome to join us. So everybody have a great rest of your day. Enjoy this beautiful day, and I will see you soon. And so will every one of the ladies at the Spiritual View.